So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert, if this is your first time tuning in. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be double checking, making sure that the bow is still in line, is sighted in and ready to go. Reason is because I got home and my dogs left to jump on me. Had the bow in my hand, and of course my dog hit it. And I know it hit in this general area, so I just want to make sure that everything is still perfect. I'm a little under the weather, by the way, so bear with me. But we have a target about 40 yards downrange. I'm shooting as if I am hunting, sitting down, shooting through a window, shooting at 40 yards. 40 yards is probably more than the shot I would actually take. Usually between 20 and 30 is a realistic shot for me. But we're going to go ahead and shoot at 40 just to make sure that I can hit at 30. It gives me that extra confidence that, okay, I've already been shooting at 40. 20 is fine. That's half the distance of what I typically am shooting at with broadheads. So yeah, that's the reason we're going to be shooting at 40. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you some of the broadheads I'm going to be shooting, some of the ones I've tried, and yeah, just kind of hanging out, just shooting around, just making sure that everything's sighted in. We'll probably take maybe 2 or 3 shots just to double check, make sure everything's sighted in, and kind of just hang out, talk. And yeah, talk a little bit about hunting and what's been going on here at the property. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, like I said, we're just gonna be shooting it, making sure everything's still sighted in. So these are the actual broadheads I will be hunting with. I'll show you right now. So these I'll leave down below in the description as well for anyone who is interested. I'll put the pin in my pocket. Actually, you know what? I don't want to lose it, so I'll just leave it here. But, excuse me. So these are actually the broadheads I will be hunting with. These are called the Swackers. They're a little bit loud because they have a lot of cutouts here, but they're very accurate compared to my field points. That's the reason I liked them, because they shoot well, almost exactly like my field points for whatever reason. But yeah, we're shooting a 4mm arrow, 350 spine, and that's what we're shooting. Again, bear with me, a little under the weather. But these are not the ones we're going to be shooting right now, because these are actually my real hunting ones. So what we're going to be doing is just swapping them out. And I believe these other ones, these are some other ones that I kind of practice with, 400s. They actually shoot very similar to the 350s, surprisingly. So that's the reason I have them in there. So I have 2 of those 400s and 3 of the 350s. So we're just gonna be taking off these broadheads, because these are actually the good ones, the brand new ones. They do have a little rubber ring on there. I'm not really sure if I'm a fan of the rubber ring, but for argument's sake, we're gonna leave them in there. So I kind of show you some of the other broadheads I've been using. And let me get this broadhead put away. So this is the good one. And this is my practice right here. As you can tell, he's already been worn a little bit. But that's the one we're actually going to be shooting with. So these are some of the broadheads I've been shooting. These are the ones we're shooting today. These are the ones I typically hunt with. This is a brand new one. They used to shoot really good, but when I switched out arrows, these really started to shoot pretty bad. So that's the reason I had to go with something different. But if you saw my last video, we took a javelino a couple months ago with these. They've done the job. They're really sharp, but they do break if they hit anything hard like a bone. So these are also, they have a little bleeder, kind of like the Swackers, but they didn't shoot as well with those arrows compared to the Swackers for whatever reason. They are quieter than the Swackers though. And these are a little bit more, kind of like these, just a little bit smaller. Kind of resemble like a little Muzzy or something like that. Again, they shoot okay. They shoot very similar. These two actually shoot very similar, even though they're very different in size. But in weight, they're the same. But they shoot actually very similar. And then these shoot the best, and these shoot they feel very light. They feel very light, but yeah, they shoot kind of high, so they probably are lighter. But they say 100, but I guess it's how the weight is distributed, maybe on the broadhead or something. But yeah, these obviously shoot the best for my arrows. I will leave everything down below in the description as well for anyone who is interested. But yeah, that's a quick little rundown of the broadheads that we do have. We don't have any muzzies. We only had bought a pack last year, and I don't have any left over. But this is my new one. So yeah, it's a little bit warm, especially to be sitting in a blind right now, but it's not a bad day to get a couple shots off and practice and make sure that everything is still tuned in correctly. So we're at 41 yards right there, 40, yeah, about 41. 41 yards. Now we did have I don't know, about 6-7 does this morning, all does here at this feeder early this morning when the feeder went off. And then we have another feeder behind you guys, I'd say maybe 200 yards, 150 yards from here. And we had like another 5 does. So that's a lot of does in a very small concentrated area. That's what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 does in a very small area. Again, 150 yards apart, 200 yards apart. It's a lot of does, especially for a low fence ranch. So we're gonna be trying to take a lot of does this year. Hopefully, by a lot, I mean like 3 or 4 at least, because this is the most does we've had in a very, very long time. Now, I forgot my release. I'm gonna have to go get that, but I'll continue talking while we are getting my release. But one of the reasons I think that we have a lot of does is because there's been a lot of development in and around the area. So with that being said, I believe that they are just pushing the deer in all different directions, and the deer are just basically trying to find a new home that has what they need, which is food, water, and shelter. So, you know, if you have a lot of homes being developed, whole new subdivisions being developed, you know, they really don't have any choice but to flee and to go somewhere else. So in that case, you know, they're coming out here. Now, again, this is the most amount of does I've ever seen out here in a season. Again, the season's just getting started, so we're probably going to pick up more as they start to get pushed around. But yeah, that's way too many does for this area. Very small bucks. I guess everyone is shooting the bucks because there are more and more people moving out in this area. But yeah, as far as, at least for meat wise, we're gonna have plenty of meat this year. Again, if we get a good chance on a good buck, we're definitely gonna take it. There are a handful of bucks last year that made it, that I know for sure made it. It's just a matter of time before they come and show their face again. Even when I go down these county roads that are very, very lonesome, not a whole lot of traffic, we start seeing any kind of buck movement on there. We're seeing like small spikes, 4-pointers, really small, young, 1.5-year-old, maybe 2.5-year-old deer. Nothing big moving yet. So yeah, the bigger bucks are just not moving yet. It's still too warm. It's still 80-something degrees. So yeah, they're not really doing a whole lot. But we're gonna go ahead and take the first shot. And I will walk you guys down there with me. But yeah, again, like I said, I'll try to record as many of the hunts that I do as possible. And hopefully we can get a buck and a couple of does. But we'll see. All right. I like to get everything kind of aligned as much as possible. Make sure I'm at 40. Again, this is the first shot in a couple of days. I haven't shot this thing in a couple of days since my dogs kind of hit it. I've been kind of busy, but here we go. Okay. Shooting at the bottom right. So at least we hit the freaking target. It's a good start. we'll see exactly where we hit it. But yeah, I'll show you guys right now the tracks of all the freaking does. I mean, we have a bunch of freaking does. It's just crazy. And again, I think they're just coming from all the areas that they're cleaning. They're just taking out, ripping out brush and just leaving brush piles. And I think it's just forcing all these does to just flee and go to other places, which I'm sure the bucks are leaving as well. But they're just staying more hidden. Okay, so 40 yards with the broadheads. Where are you guys at? I'm trying to see. So 40 yards, broadheads. I was aiming at the bottom right. We hit about 2, maybe 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches low. We'll try another shot. It could have been me. That's my first shot of the day. So it could definitely be me as well. So we'll try another shot. But while we are here, you guys can see just how tore up the ground is. I mean, everywhere. I'll kind of pan around so you guys can see it. But ground is all tore up, which is nice. But again, most of it is does. We have some deer scat right here. A little bit more of a mature doe scat there. And we'll kind of walk back. But yeah, hopefully that shot's just me shooting a little bit low. We'll see if it'll do any better. All right. Better, I think. I think that was better. Felt better. Felt better when it left. We'll see. Felt like I kind of kept it a little bit more steady, more centered on that shot there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That one was pretty good. I was kind of shooting in between these two. So it's about an inch higher. So just removing all of this little stuff that gets stuck in there. It's probably important too. There's a lot of this like little particles that get stuck. That probably affects the trajectory of the arrow too. I'm gonna shoot one more. I'm gonna call it good at that, honestly. At 40 yards, it's pretty good. Well, technically 41 yards. But we'll shoot one more just to double check it, make sure that it's shooting well. I'll kind of try to aim towards the same spot because it only shot about an inch higher from where I was aiming at. I was trying to put it between the two circles, so. And again, it could just be me. It's getting hard to breathe with the runny nose. I feel pretty good about that one. I feel pretty good about that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. 40 yards, about an inch low this time, so yeah, I would say it's where the hell is the damn thing at in the camera? There it is. Yeah, it's about an inch lower, maybe an inch and a half lower, but I would call it good for that. Gosh dang, it's a bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I think with a brand new arrow, it'll shoot just fine. But again, this one's getting worn. It's getting a little stuff stuck in there. So it's probably affecting how it's gonna shoot. But yeah, I'll take that. 40 yards still is really, really good. Obviously I like to get it perfect, but I have to come out here again, try to get it as perfect as possible. But for today, that's good enough. I think it'll do very well. Again, most of my shots are going to be between 20 and 30. So if it's an inch off at 40, shouldn't be a huge deal at 20 and 30. So, and again, that inch is probably my fault. Just not keeping it as steady as I possibly could. Because when you have broadheads on there, it's you know, there's a little bit more variability when you are moving around. So well, alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Just a quick little shooting session just to make sure everything was still good, still fine. Again, at 40 yards, I'm probably shooting an inch high and an inch low, but it shouldn't be a huge deal. But I'll probably come out here again before we actually start hunting, just to make sure we can get it a little bit dialed in. I like to be at least half an inch from where I'm actually aiming, either high or low. Just gives me a little bit more confidence. But for today, that's good enough for me just to get started, just to make sure to know that the sight is still good. I'm gonna go load up, pick up the target, load up, probably go get some food, do a couple other errands for the day, and yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Just a good little quick shooting video, just to make sure that everything was sighted in. Again, I was gonna do this off camera, but I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and make a video on it, just to kind of, you know, make a video on it. But yeah, without further ado, be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.